Why is Bitcoin's price rallying so hard?
Yeah, I think it's really people coming to grips with the fact that they can't wait until the election to allocate. There's so much pent up positive demand for crypto and Bitcoin specifically in the market. So many long-term trends pushing us forward. We have the Bitcoin ETFs. We have Larry Fink on TV calling it a major asset class. We have institutions moving in. But people sort of had in their mind that they could wait until after the election to get in. I think yesterday when Kamala Harris came out with some vaguely pro-crypto commentary in a policy position paper, that was enough to make people realize that they had to get in now, that they couldn't wait till the end. Our view at Bitwise is that crypto will end the year at new all-time highs, and it was just a question of when the rally would begin. It's possible the rally has already begun.
Matt Hougan is a prominent figure in the cryptocurrency industry and currently serves as the CIO of Bitwise Asset Management, the world's largest provider of cryptocurrency index funds. With more than $2 billion in assets under management, Bitwise is a leader in the crypto investment space. Hougan, known globally as an expert on ETFs and financial technology, has a particular interest in the growth of crypto-based spot ETFs. These financial instruments are seen as a major milestone in the development of the cryptocurrency industry. Like many industry players, Hougan is celebrating the recent approval of spot ETFs and is leading Bitwise in its efforts to secure approval from the SEC for a groundbreaking XRP ETF. Hougan believes that the market is on the verge of a massive breakout that will see prices soar to new all-time highs. In a recent tweet, Hougan made a super bullish projection of a six-figure price target for Bitcoin. He bases his prediction on several factors that are aligning in the macro environment. ETF flows are accelerating US election infinite deficits, bipartisan agreement, economic stimulus in China, global rate cuts, Fed, ECB, halving supply shock starting to bite, and whales accumulating. Despite a turbulent period in the market and sideways price movement for Bitcoin for most of this year, Hougan believes that things are starting to converge. Make sure to watch the rest of this video where Hougan explains why this is just the beginning of a major rally, the current state of play for the spot ETFs and his 2025 prediction for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Also, if you enjoy listening to crypto-related content, please show your support by liking and subscribing to this channel by following the link in my bio. And get access to my free daily crypto updates and expert predictions direct to your inbox. Each newsletter contains market intelligence, on-chain data and latest updates from experts in the crypto space. All of this is available completely free of charge. Signing up only takes a moment and you can always change your mind later on. Now back over to Matt Hougan.
There is a really significant amount of money on the sidelines. You know, at Bitwise, what we do all day is speak to financial advisors and family offices and institutions about crypto, and they all had their eye on the election, wondering if crypto will get the all clear. Markets hate nothing worse than uncertainty, and I think for many people, the election represented uncertainty, and so they were sitting on the sidelines waiting. They realized that crypto is not going away. They realized that it's moving into the institutional sort of part of the world, but they thought they could wait and delay. I think if this rally continues, if we continue to see momentum and it trips up towards 70,000, I think it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. People realizing they have to get on the train before the election. They can't wait for the all clear. And that's normal. You often see, assets rallying before news. And I think that's a little bit what we might be seeing right here. I mean, you have it exactly right. From one perspective, these are the most successful ETF launches of all time, attracted $1 billion investment, already turned on at Morgan Stanley, which is faster than usually happens for ETFs. But it's still the case that most investors, believe it or not, most large institutional investors can't access these ETFs. It's a limited approval at Morgan Stanley. The other major wirehouses like UBS and Wells Fargo haven't even turned on these ETFs in a limited sense. Before I came to Bitwise 6.5 years ago, I was the CEO of ETF.com. So this is my neck of the woods. The thing that crypto should realize about ETFs is they are multi-year stories. If you look back at the gold ETF, which when it launched was the most successful ETF launch of all time, year 2 had more flows than year 1, year 3 more than year 2, year 4 more than year 3 for 8 straight years. I actually think the same thing is going to happen for Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, this was a record year, the most successful ETF launch of all time. Maybe we'll get $20+ billion of assets into these ETFs in year 1. That's amazing. I bet you year 2 is bigger, and I bet you year 3 is bigger. ETFs are a 5 to 10 year journey to maturity, so we're still really at the earliest stage.
what is your 2025 Bitcoin price outlook?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's going to be a new all-time high. I think it's going to be six-figure Bitcoin for sure. And the question is it a one handle or is it a two handle? When I say for sure, of course, there are no guarantees. This is a risky market. You should only invest what you can lose. But the setup for 2025 is really exceptional. For one, this is about the period in Bitcoin's history where you start to feel the effects of the halving. We sort of forget that the halving happened, right? Because there's been so much news. Bitcoin ETFs, Donald Trump at the Bitcoin conference, strategic reserve talk, BlackRock. But the halving is a big deal, and you're just starting to feel that happen. We also have ETFs, which again, I think next year will be bigger than this year from an adoption perspective. And then we have the generalized 4-year cycle, where sort of this is the year where the animal spirits really start going. We also have governments continuing to abuse fiat currencies, stimulus in China, rate cuts. That's a pretty positive picture. So I think Bitcoin, will end the year at new all-time highs, and then I suspect that it'll surpass that in 2025, and it'll be, a strong year for the markets. What I'll say about Ethereum is I'm actually quite constructive on Ethereum right now. I think it's a contrarian bet within crypto. Ethereum is like the asset that people love to hate. It's kind of the middle child of crypto. It's neither the OG Bitcoin or the hot dot that is, whether you want to say Solana or Sui or Aptos or Monad or pick your new high performance blockchain. People assume that Ethereum is like old tech and it's struggling over fee compression as assets move on to layer 2s and activity moves on to layer 2s. But when you step back and look at it, what are the killer apps of crypto outside of Bitcoin? There are things like stable coins, there are things like DeFi, there are things like tokenization. What is the leading blockchain for stablecoins, DeFi, and tokenization? It's still Ethereum. If you're a large traditional financial player looking to build on a public blockchain, what blockchain are you going to choose? Most likely you're going to choose Ethereum. And so I think Ethereum has been sort of passed over this year because it's going through this complex teenage adjustment in its architecture, and it's been missed by the narrative around the excitement for Solana and the excitement for Bitcoin. I think it's set up actually to be a pretty good contrarian play in 2025.